Up next. All right. You know, I get that this Diddy case has been a monumental case, right? And I think going into Diddy being arrested, those months early where we saw the federal agents on every coast raiding his house, his homes, when we started hearing everything that Cassie had to say and how quickly that settled, and all the build up to him actually going to trial, right? And so I get that this is a huge story. I get that this is a huge story. Okay. But after going through the trial, and the coverage was crazy, and Diddy gets convicted on 2 counts of prostitution, and he evades all the RICO charges. And he's sentenced to, I think, 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, 48 years, something like that. Something manageable. I mean, I think we thought Diddy was going away for a long time. But with Diddy's reputation being as awful as he's been to so many people, with what we saw in the video from CNN from where he assaulted Cassie in the hotel, I really feel like as soon as the verdict came down, the story just deflated completely, because I think everyone expected Diddy would be serving a lot more time or get convicted for something serious. When the DA came out and said, "Oh, we got RICO charges," he's using bad boy funds to, inappropriately. I thought I think a lot of us felt like Diddy was running like a cocaine ring on private jets all over the place. It looked like, it turns out he was just using the bad boy account to have freak offs. The things that we know factually that Diddy did weren't things that the DA charged him with. And so to me, this is a real miscarriage, or how about this? This was a real failure of the justice system, right? It's like when you hear sirens in the background, right? And you think the sirens are on the way to an emergency, but really they're just trying to beat a red light. And you're like, why are my tax dollars going so that people with sirens can beat a red light and I got to sit at the red light, right? It's a miscarriage of what we think things are for. And that was what that Diddy case looked like to me. I'm thinking my man is Al Capone. Turns out he was having freak-offs with the company credit card. And that's just a different thing. And so for me, this whole story is basically deflated heavily since the verdict came down. And yet and still, every time I look up, there is a new Diddy documentary. There was a TMZ documentary. I think there was an A&E documentary. There might be a Hulu I feel like there's at least 3. This dude Epstein is that's one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. I don't think we've got nearly enough Epstein documentaries, and I think we have way too many Diddy documentaries. Way too many Diddy documentaries. Because here comes 50 Cent with another Diddy documentary. Now, I know what you're thinking. What can 50 say that these other people can't say about Diddy? Apparently a lot. Apparently a lot. And I think that there is this is a grudge match over here between these two, hating each other for so long. So let's take a look at the trailer, and then we're going to take a look at 50 on Good Morning America talking about this. Not just look at my man. I'm like, yeah, you really got to hate somebody a whole lot to be the last one to the market with a documentary about a court case that didn't explode the way we thought it was going to explode. Here is 50 on Good Morning America, and he's breaking down what we can expect when we check out this documentary. So let's take a look.
Scene footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to.
It was surprising that he actually filmed it. I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like one thing that we have seen in recent years quite a bit is a number of people who've been prepared for their big break and want to have a documentary around it. I mean, we just saw that with the Genius documentary with Ye. I think that the business person inside in Diddy sits around and says, yo, we actually need to document this, because after we beat this, then we're going to be able to let people know what really happened. I think the arrogance in there, I think the businessman in there, yeah, of course he's going to film that. I still want to know how you got it though, 50.
To watch a man who's known for his brand presence, you know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account and how he was coming off to the public.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
I'll accept it. I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh. It's like 150 hugs.
I mean, now, okay, I know that looks bad. That looks really bad, right? Now, Diddy's outside touching the people, shaking hands. He's getting inside the car, and he's like, I need to wash my hands, touching all these people. But we are in a post-COVID world. I know regular people who just go outside every day now, and as soon as they get in, the first thing they do is wash their hands. I know people who carry hand sanitizer on them. Like maybe in like 2015, that would hit me different. Post-COVID, everybody should be doing that, in my opinion, to be honest.
Public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
Went away.
Got in
his car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it shows you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important.
I mean, I think it's extremely personal. I don't buy 50 Cent's story around that at all. With that just being this, you know what I mean? I feel like you have two people from New York City who have risen to the top of their industry, a very competitive industry, and there's a lot of overlap in general. Okay, there were years ago, there were rumors that 50 Cent had a relationship with one of Diddy's ex-wives or girlfriends. Years ago, that was a rumor. I can't verify that or not. I do know that Diddy or 50's baby mama was a part of the trial. 50's baby mama was on that stand describing these things. Okay, now I know that 50th Law is one of my favorite books. If anybody ever needs to read something that can help them getting out of a stuck position, help them look at the world a different way so that you can rearrange your Lego pieces and craft something extraordinary, check out the 50th Law. It's a great book. That book right there, the 50th Law to me says, oh, if there's a 51st law, it would be if your ops sluts out your baby mama, you make an incriminating documentary about that. That would be the next one. Because that's what this looks like to me. There's nothing else I think that can be shed about this case that we haven't seen in all these previous documentaries that have been out here. I think the case, again, like I said up in the beginning, really let a lot of people down in terms of how the prosecution handled the case and what they actually charged Diddy with, and they couldn't prove. That's what this looks like right here to me. When your wife, your baby mama, embarrasses you, or when someone has her in these situations, you make a documentary about it. That's what that looks like to me. I do not buy 50 Cent, whatever he's talking about, saying it's not personal.
Tomato.
Because that's not the truth. You can tell by his smile right here. His face is saying, yep, Robin Roberts is going to believe that one. Robin will believe that one.
Important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
Now, this is actually big. As far as I know, we haven't necessarily seen, at least I haven't seen any of the jurors talk about this yet. So that part right there will be interesting. That's something I'll definitely be checking for with this.
Both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160.
2 people in love. This is how bad bad of a job the prosecution did. When Juror 75 left the courtroom after this case was over, his takeaway was 2 people in love. That's how bad the prosecution did.
He's saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges.
And this is the big one. And this is what we all think, I think. We all wonder, where were the domestic violence charges? Now, there's a few legal examples or legal reasons why they weren't in there. But if they're going to base the case off of what we saw in that CNN video, if we're going to base that, if that's the crux of the emotional pull of this case, and you're going to try to charge him with RICO, you're going to throw a RICO at him just because, and try to make people look at this incident, but legally charge him for having freak-offs with her and knowing that she was at least part of setting it up at different points in time. Like, that is a hard legal barrier or legal hurdle to hit. And it's really disappointing for all parties involved that the prosecution handled this way. But this is going to be interesting to see what the jurors say.
Cassie, was she a victim in all this? I
believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as she's like 18, like 19 years old in the very beginning. After a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
I hate this question. This is a question I hate, not even just with this case, just in general. Like when a rapper gets caught murdering somebody or selling drugs or whatever, they try to make it a hip-hop thing. No, that nigga's a criminal. Like, that is a different kind of thing. Just because hip-hop has a lot of different types of people in it doesn't mean that's always a hip-hop thing. I get it. I get where Robin's coming from. You kind of got to ask that for your audience. I mean, I'm sure the Good Morning America audience thinks about this. Hip-hop makes a lot of national, international headlines. When someone gets in trouble, that's not always exclusive to hip-hop either.
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. Mm-hmm. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
That's a bit self-serving, Fifth. I feel like a lot of people were upset about this. I feel like people were very vocal. People were very vocal for a long time about all the things that we saw with this Diddy trial. I personally feel that way from the headlines I read, from the editorialized conversations that were around this case, from the artists themselves. Coverage on this channel, coverage on a bunch of channels. Puff's friend base got pretty small, actually. There were a lot of people who didn't say they supported Puff in this situation. There was a lot of criticism around this.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
Wow, that was some finish right there. Thank you, Robert, for that. Sean
Diddy will say it's the greatest documentary of all time. 1 second applause, I'm with it. All right, so that's the documentary. That's this conversation on Good Morning America. Again, this comes tomorrow. I thought this was really funny. This is Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson, the comedian. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Josh Johnson. My favorite thing about Josh Johnson is how fast he is as a comedian. You know, he is on his trending topics. like if there was a big news story about a siren going on and off in the background, Josh Johnson would be able to turn into a bit that night. You know, he's really fast, really, really fast. And so he has some commentary here on his take on this documentary. Let's see what he says.
Is so hated by 50 Cent that apparently a decade ago, 50 Cent just started gathering information on Diddy.
A decade ago.
As much as he could find. And he started working on a documentary series on how bad Diddy is. A documentary, he did interviews, he hates this man so much. I've heard of gossip. I've never heard of like, no, okay, we're gonna have the whole crew there by 3, all right? And we'll have a place for you to sit, we'll have some snacks and everything. We'll just chop it up, we'll just chat. Tell me everything that he did, that bastard, right? A documentary series that he's already potentially sold to Netflix. He hates this. I've never hated. I not only do my best to not be a hateful person, I really try to let things go and not hate anybody. So I don't even know what it's like to hate someone. So I've never hated someone. So imagine hating someone so much you're willing to edit. You're willing to sit at the computer and be like, no, that's not. Let's see if we can make this B-roll work. This dude hates him so much that there's actually things on the cutting room floor that didn't make it in. Imagine you hate somebody so much you don't even have time for how much you hate them and the thing you made about hating them.
I thought that was funny because I hate editing. I am not a fan of editing either. But Josh is crazy. So that's Josh Johnson, what he had to say about this documentary. And of course, a lot of people are wondering where's Jay-Z and all this and how. So this is what 50 Cent posted about Jay-Z. Here's what he said. He said, this is the message Jay-Z sent me when he realized he's not in the Diddy doc, LOL. I'm not gonna play the song because it's copywritten, but I think we got all major parties involved in this story. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section. Let me know if you guys plan to watch this too. You know what I mean? Like I'm Diddy'd out. I really am. You know, I think that from a journalistic standpoint, because you know this is my field, my profession. I have a responsibility to look at it, but honestly, there's a lot of Diddy stories out here that you know, I'm just tired to hear. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tired, you know, in a way. There's another story out with Diddy who is being accused of assault by Jonathan Hay. Jonathan Hay is a producer in the music industry. He also worked with a number of artists, and that's going on right now. And it's a state case out of California that's within the statute of limitations. So Diddy might actually have another trial that he has to beat that could have jail time connected to it. And Jonathan Hay is very excited to talk to anyone about his experience with Diddy. And it also implicates C.J. Wallace, Biggie's son. And I haven't covered that story yet, but I'm Diddy'd out. That's how Diddy'd out I am. I'm like, I'm looking at this thing on the side. It's like, oh, this is very interesting, but I don't necessarily find that much interest in covering it. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments section. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow The Company Man on everything, including The Company Man podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping in. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, dog, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.